Hello everyone, welcome back to Atreyu Crochet. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make your own corner to corner ear warmer. Okay, it's very easy, it's very quick. You can make it as long and as wide as you want it. So yeah, let's get to it. Things you will need to make your corner to corner or C2C ear warmer include some yarn of medium 4 size, a pair of scissors, a crochet hook size H, which is 5 millimeters, and a darning tapestry weaving needle. So if you have some leftover yarn from a previous project, feel free to use that. It definitely will not require a lot of yarn to make this ear warmer. Alright, so to start off this corner to corner ear warmer, we're going to start the exact same way that we've started so many of our other corner to corner projects. You're going to start out with the slip knot. We'll put our size H ES hook in, and then as with all the other corner to corner, when it comes to making that first block, we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, we have 6 chains. Now we're going to go back to the 4th stitch from the hook, the 4th chain from the hook. So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and that's 4. That 4th chain from the hook is also the 3rd chain up. So 1, 2, 3. It's that same stitch. Alright, so we're going to yarn over because we're going to make a double crochet. And we're going to enter that chain like that. Yarn over, pull through to the front. Yarn over, go through 2. Yarn over, go through 2. This will leave 2 more chains, one right there and one right there. We're going to put a double crochet in each of the remaining 2 chains, and then one more double crochet in that final chain. Okay, and we just completed row 1. So row 2, we're increasing. We're going to chain 6 again. Whenever we're increasing, we need to chain 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one more. 6. Alright, and then we're going to put a double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is also the 1, 2, 3, 3rd chain up. Yarn over, go into the next stitch. Pull through to the front, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. That's how we're making our double crochets. Yarn over, go into that final chain. Yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Okay? So we've created that block. Right now, we're looking at front. We want to be looking at the back and then the front. So all we need to do is turn that like that. Hold that, because it's going to want to, usually it pops back, but I guess because of this yarn, it holds a little bit better. Okay, so then once we're looking at the back at the bottom, B for back, B for bottom, and the front of the stitches at the top, then we're going to connect like that. The way you connect is to find the chain 3 on the end here, insert your crochet hook, and slip stitch. Yarn over, pull all the way through. Now we're going to step up by chaining 3, 1, 2, 3, and in the same chain 3 space that we just slip stitched into, we're going to put 3 double crochets. Okay, just go into that hole like that. Yarn over, pull through to the front. Yarn over, go back into the hole one last time for that 3rd double crochet. Yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. And we just completed row 2. So the first block was row 1. These 2 blocks, that is row 2. We're still increasing. So we're going to chain 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And no, guys, I did not speed that up. I'm just awesome like that. Just kidding. Okay, and then we're going to put our 3 double crochets, one in the last 3 stitches, or the 4th, starting with the 4th chain from the hook, or the 3rd chain up, 1, 2, 3. So that stitch. Yarn over, let's go into it. And just make your double crochets. 1, next chain is there, yarn over, go into the chain, make your double crochet. Alright, that's 2. And then that last chain is right there, yarn over. And let's make our last double crochet. Okay, so as before, when you complete those 3 double crochets and you look at the bottom one, you're going to be looking at the front side of it. You want to always look at the back side of it because it's at the bottom, and then the front side. So you don't need to do anything with this top block that we just created. However, we need to turn the work on its back side like that so that you can be looking at the back of the stitches here and the front of the stitches here. Okay, now it's time to connect. We do that by finding the chain 3 on the end and slip stitching. So just insert your hook into that hole, yarn over, pull all the way through. Now we need to step up by chaining 3, and then in that same chain 3 space we're going to put 3 double crochets. Okay, that's what I call filling it in, filling in the block, filling in the step. You stepped up with the chain 3, right? You stepped up when you did that, but we want to get over. We can't get over without these 3 double crochets to fill in the step. So that's why I always say step up and then fill it in. Alright, so we created this one, we created this one. Now it's time to connect. We'll slip stitch into this last chain 3 on the end, that chain 3 space. Yarn over, just pull it through, and then all the way through. Now, once again, it's time to step up by chaining 3, 2, 3, and then we need to fill it in. We need to finish creating this block by putting 3 double crochets into that chain 3 space. So that's what I'm doing right now. 1, 2, and 3. All right, and with that, we just created row 3. We have one more row to do before we change anything, okay? Because I want this to be just a little bit wider as it goes around my forehead and my ears to keep my ears nice and warm. So let's continue on. All right, so since we are still increasing, I'm going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yarn over and go into the 3rd chain up or the 4th chain down, which is that chain right there. Yarn over, pull through to the front, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, put a double crochet in each of the 2 remaining chains that's there. And one more, that chain right there, yarn over, pull through to the front, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. All right, right now, because we just completed this one, we're looking at the front of that one and the front of that one. So we turn our work like that at the bottom. So now that we've turned our work, we're looking at the back of the bottom block and the front of the top block. To connect, we find the chain 3 space on the end, and we insert our hook like that so that we can slip stitch, yarn over, pull all the way through. Now we need to step up by chaining 3, 2, 3, and we need to fill in that step by putting 3 double crochets into that same chain 3 space that we slip stitched into. Wow, That's a tongue twister. One more, like that. Time to connect. Find the chain 3 space of the next block and slip stitch into it. Step up by chaining 3, 1, 2, 3. Fill in the step by putting 3 double crochets into that chain 3 space. Two and 3. Connect, slip stitch into the next chain 3 space. Step up by chaining 3. 1, 2, 3. Fill in the step by putting 3 double crochets into the chain 3 space. Okay, now we have 4 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. We just completed row 4. This is the first block that we started with, hence the tail. Okay. At this point, this corner to corner ear warmer is definitely wide enough to cover my ears and my forehead, but I need to continue to have it get longer, right? So that it can actually fit around my head. So I'm going to continue to increase on this edge, while this bottom edge, this is the side where I'm going to start to maintain or decrease on. So increase side, decrease side, or maintain side. So increase edge, maintain edge. So we're not going to go any wider. We're keeping it there. You're going to see when I get down here, I'm going to do something special to make sure that I don't create another block to make it wider. We're going to maintain this edge. So it's never going to get any wider than this, okay? However, it's going to continue to get taller or longer. And I will explain how long to make it later. So let's continue to increase by chaining 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yarn over, go into the appropriate chain, put a double crochet, and then in the last 2 remaining chains, put 1 double crochet in each. Yarn over, go into that next chain, and put your final double crochet. Okay, so each block, you guys, if you haven't figured it out, is composed of 3 double crochets and a chain 3. Okay, right now we're looking at front. We want to look at front back, so we turn that. And now it's time to connect. We do that by finding the chain 3 space there and slip stitching into it. Now step up by chaining 3. 1, 2, 3. Fill in the step by putting 3 double crochets into that same chain 3 space that we slip stitched into. Alright, once we've created that block, time to connect again. Slip stitch, step up, 1, 2, 3. Fill the step in by crocheting 3 double crochets into the same chain 3 space that we just slip stitched into. Okay, time to connect again to the next chain 3 space there. Yarn over, pull all the way through, step up, 1, 2, 3. Fill in the step by putting 3 double crochets into the same chain 3 space that we slip stitched into. Okay, and now we're going to slip stitch to connect. And remember, this is the edge that we no longer want to grow. So instead of chaining 3 and putting another block there, we're not going to do that. We're going to chain 1 and go in the other direction. If we chain 3 and put the 3 double crochets into that chain 3 space, then that's going to make this go wider, but we don't want to go wider anymore, okay? So we chain 1, turn our work, And then we're going to slip stitch back across. So we're going to put a slip stitch into each of these 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to put a slip stitch into this chain 3 space like we've been doing all along. Okay, so first double crochet, slip stitch, yarn over, pull all the way through. Next double crochet is right there, the second one. So slip stitch, yarn over, and pull all the way through. The third double crochet is there. We're going to slip stitch into that as well. Yarn over, pull all the way through. And then the chain 3 space, like normal, we'll slip stitch into that and pull all the way through. Now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And once again, we have our maintain or decrease side. And once again, it's normal business as usual. We'll fill that block in with 3 double crochets, connect, slip stitch, and so on. At this point, if you want, you can mark this side with a stitch marker or a piece of yarn to let you know that this is the decrease or maintain side. I don't really need to do that. I can kind of just look at it and see that, hey, I slip stitched my way back across. So this is definitely the maintain side. And then as I'm filling in these blocks, as I climb up higher and then I turn my work, I can tell that, hey, that's the top side. This is the side that I want to get longer. So I know that I'm increasing on this edge. Okay, so, but if you can't remember, feel free to mark this side with, like I said, a stitch marker or a yarn of a different color. But it's easy for me to remember that this is the width that I want. And I want this edge to continue growing. So let's finish this one row. By the way, remember row 4 had 4 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So this is row 1, 1 block. This is row 2, 1, 2 blocks. This is row 3, 1, 2, 3 blocks. And then row 4 had 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. Row 5, which we just completed, you'll see also had 4 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? The reason is because we're maintaining one edge while still increasing on the other edge. So if you're increasing on both edges, then you increase the number of blocks with each row. When you increase one edge but maintain or decrease the other edge, then you maintain the number of blocks you had in the last increase row, if that makes sense. So since the last time I increased on both edges, this one as well as this one, I got 4 blocks. Then once I increased on one edge but maintained or decreased on the other edge, then I just continue with the 4 blocks. So what I'm saying to you is that while you're making this corner to corner ear warmer longer and longer, you're always going to have 4 blocks. And it's only going to be 4 blocks until we start to decrease on this edge as well. Then you're going to start to decrease the number of blocks. So that first row where we decrease both edges, it's going to go down to 3 blocks, then 2, then 1. And because it's only 4 blocks in terms of width, 1, 2, 3, 4, then this goes by really, really fast. I hope that explanation helps. And yeah, let's just finish up this row. I'll meet you up here. Okay, I've gotten to the top. And as you see, I still have 4 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 3 rows now that I've had 4 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4 for that one. 1, 2, 3, 4 for that one. And 1, 2, 3, 4 for that one. Okay. So you're going to continue to have 4 blocks until I meet you. Now, how long should you make this? Well, one thing you can do, especially if you're making it for yourself, is just kind of periodically as it gets longer, check it, fit it around your own head, around your ears, and see if it fits. Okay? You don't want this edge, and when we get an edge here, so we'll use that as the edge. You don't want there to be overlap, right? Because then it'll be too big and it'll slide off of your head. So you want it just a little bit shorter. You don't want overlap in terms of the length, right? Because when you put it on your head and it'll stretch out where there's no longer overlap, it'll be too big. You want the ends to fit together like that, or it can even be just a little bit shorter so that you have to stretch it just a little bit to fit. So continue crocheting how many ever rows it takes for you to fit this comfortably around your ears and your forehead. And then we will start to decrease on both edges, and then we'll be almost done. So just continue crocheting rows until it fits around your ears and your forehead the way you want it to. Remember, don't have it overlap. Just have it fit like that, okay? And I will see you there. Alright, you guys, I am back. And just to give you an idea of how long I made mine, I ended up crocheting 28 rows. So I just completed the 28th row. And as you see, it still has 4 blocks. So now it's time to finish this. We need to fill in that corner, okay? So we're going to decrease now on both edges, or we're going to maintain on both edges, okay? This is the top and this is the side where we've been increasing all along to make this longer. But now we're at our desired height or length, okay? So now it's time to fill, like I said, this part in, all right? So instead of chaining 6, we're going to chain 1, turn our work, and then just like on the other edge, we're going to slip stitch our way back across. So 1 slip stitch through each double crochet, each of those 3 double crochets. That's 2. This is the 3rd one, and that's 3. And then into that chain 3 space there. All right, put this down so you can see better. And now we're going to step up by chaining 3 and filling in that step with 3 double crochets. You guys know this very well at this point, I'm sure. Connect, find that chain 3 space, slip stitch into it, chain a new 3 and 3 double crochets there. And 3, and connect, slip stitch, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, fill the space, that chain 3 space, and fill the step in, fill the block in. You can call it many different things, okay? And now we need to connect, find the chain 3 space, slip stitch. Now, as promised, when you start to decrease on both edges, you also start to decrease the number of blocks per row. So remember, I had been maintaining 4 blocks for that whole length, where I was increasing on one edge and maintaining or decreasing on the other edge. I decreased on that edge, and I'm about to decrease on this edge. Pretty much done with it, but I'm done with the row, and you see there are only 3 blocks now. 1, 2, 3, whereas there were 4. So just like on the other edge, to decrease, you chain 1, turn your work, slip stitch back across, 1 slip stitch into the 3 double crochets, and then 1 also into that chain 3 space, right there. And now we chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and it's back to business. 3 double crochets into that chain 3 space. 1, 2, 3, connect by slip stitching into the next chain 3 space, chain 3 to step up, fill in the step by putting 3 double crochets into that same chain 3 space that we slip stitched into. Okay, connect by slip stitching into the next chain 3 space, which is there. We're already at that other edge now. And remember, we're maintaining or decreasing each edge. So we need to chain 1 and turn our work and go back that way. And notice again, in the previous row we had 3 blocks, now we're down to 2. So as I said, when you decrease on both edges, the number of blocks per row decrease as well. Alright, slip stitch across. 1, 2, 3, and the fourth one, remember, goes into that chain 3 space. And now, look, we just need to make our final block. Step up by chaining 3, fill in the step by putting 3 double crochets into that same chain 3 space that we slip stitched into. And to connect, we find the chain 3 space and slip stitch into it. Now we'll chain 1. We will cut our work and fasten off. Okay? And we can weave this tail in later. Okay? Alright, so now it's time to connect these edges. As I said, we'll weave the tail in later, but now we need to connect the edges so that it is continuous. So we're going to use our darning tapestry weaving needle to do that. Okay? So we'll just yarn it with the yarn that we've been using. Alright, so we're going to get this yarn onto this needle. It helps to kind of fold it and then work it onto the needle. And then once you get it on, you can tie a couple of loose knots just so that it kind of stays on the needle while you are weaving the yarn through. Okay? Okay, so the way I like to do it is I like to start in the corner of one edge. Okay? So like that. And then just kind of crisscross your way. Now, in terms of figuring out, so I just entered this corner here. Sorry, it's kind of hard to see. So this is the tail that we started it with. Don't worry about that. I just kind of went in, and this is the working yarn right here. So I went through the stitch, the corner, and basically I'm going to, on the other side, go through the stitch in sort of a crisscross manner. So the top of the stitch like that. And you're just going to pull through. Okay? And then from this one, from this side, you will crisscross to the other edge. Like that. And then this one, crisscross to the other edge. And see how I'm kind of going over and under. And then this one, crisscrossing into that edge to kind of bring it together so that it kind of lays flat. And then under and out on the other edge. Okay. And just keep doing this all along the edges. Like that. Also, you want to make sure that you're lining up your edges. Alright, so I'm still crisscrossing. Like that. Actually, let me go a little bit higher, and then it'll be, and this one will be the last one. So that it's like that. Okay. So since I ended over here, just to make sure that this is extra secure, I'm gonna go into that corner on that edge, and then back through there like that. So pull till the loop gets smaller, and then I'm going to bring my darning needle through like that, so that it, as it ties, it will create a knot like that. Okay. And you can do that a couple of times. You can go in again in the area, and then as the loop is closing, just put your needle through, pull, and it'll create a little knot like that. And then you can make a loop like that around your fingers and take your darning needle and put it through that loop and just tie it like that. Okay, I like feeling the knot. I like that texture because it lets me know that, okay, that's the back. All right, and then you can cut, but give yourself some length so that you have enough yarn to weave it in. All right, now you might be wondering, what about the other side? All right, so here's the other end, and I happen to have a tail there from when I started, so I can actually just tie a knot, a couple of knots. You guys know that when I say I tie a knot, that means at least two. I like my knots. I like my work to be secure. Okay, so 2 knots, and then because they're knots, I can just cut my yarn. Alright, so now it's time to weave in this little tail, so let's get it on the needle. Fold it in half and then just kind of get it in there like that. And then find some stitches that you want to go through just to kind of hide it. Go in one direction, and then go back in the other direction. Going through stitches. Okay, and then once you spread it out, you can cut your yarn. Alright, and you can do every tail that you have like that. So here's another one. Get that on there. Alright. And once you guys get used to weaving in your tails, this process will be really quick. When you first start out, it's going to be slow and painstaking for sure. I remember hating doing this part. It's like, I just want to be done with this. But it does get easier and therefore better the more you do it. Practice makes perfect. Just pull it through and then cut your yarn. Alright, and now you have your corner to corner ear warmer, and this is the side that you connect it, and it looks great. I mean, it's pretty darn seamless, I would say. I mean, you can kind of see it, and I think it really helps that the yarns are different colors, you know. The beginning is different than the end. That really makes it stand out more. But if the yarns were all the same color, I think it would be even more seamless. But I love how the yarns are a different color, but it's still a clean transition, you know? So like this is the front. And then this is the back. And even though the color changes drastically, it's still nice and clean. So yeah, this is the C2C corner to corner ear warmer. It's very quick. If you, like I said, have some yarn that you didn't use up on a previous project, then just use that and do your normal corner to corner. You increase for 4 rows, and then you start decreasing or maintaining on one edge while continuing to increase on the other edge so that it gets longer. And then once you get to your desired length or height, depending on how you look at it, then you start to decrease on both edges, and then you just connect them, connect the edges, and you have your easy, quick corner to corner ear warmer. Okay, say you wanted this to be wider, then instead of increasing for 4 rows, you can increase for 5 or 6. You make this as wide as you want. How many ever blocks? Like I said, right now for this one, it's only 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you wanted 5 or 6, you could do that. So you could keep increasing on both edges for 6 rows, and you know on that row 6 you should have 6 blocks, and then start to maintain on one edge while continuing to increase on the other edge. Then you would have a wider corner to corner ear warmer. Okay, so it's just all about preference, but now you know what to do to achieve the desired look. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Go make your own, and be sure to let me know in the comments if you did. If you're on Instagram, then definitely tag me so that I can see it. All right, that is it for this video. I will see you in the next one. In the meantime, happy crocheting.